Is anyone shocked? I'm not shocked. Not shocked at all. But the Trump administration just ticked off every tree-hugging Democrat in the world. And I'm so happy. Can't lie. Not because they're angry, but because they were overstepping their bounds so much that it's finally time to push back on them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to read this article to you. Listen, when I did what I did on my truck, I only did it because of the administration that's in office. Had the blue people had made it somehow in, I would have never done what I've done this year, simply because I would have been a little concerned by people trying to turn me in. And by the way, people have tried to turn me in. I mean, that is factual. But regardless of it, you guys now know that it doesn't matter anymore because they've overstepped their bounds and it's time to right those wrongs. Let's go ahead and check out this article and then we'll jump back into the video. DOJ dropping charges, cases against diesel deleters, emissions device defeaters. That is the best title I've read of 2026. Music to my ears. It almost sounds like a punchline almost. The Department of Justice on Wednesday, which was January 21st, I believe, said it won't be enforcing violations of the Clean Air Act from tampering with emissions technology as a criminal violation anymore. The DOJ tweeted it's exercising its enforcement discretion to no longer pursue criminal charges under the Clean Air Act based on allegations of tampering with onboard diagnostic devices in motor vehicles. That doesn't mean it's now perfectly legal to delete the emissions on your diesel tractor. However, however, right? You guys knew you weren't going to be able to just go out there and start deleting and just posting. Like, who would post deleting online? Like, who would ever do such a thing? Like, I would never do that because I did weight loss program. I didn't delete. So with that being said, if you own a shop, obviously, or if you own a company where you want to go and start advertising, hey, bring your diesel truck here and delete it. Well, no, you can't do that. Because, there's nothing signed into law that will protect you, right? That's the ultimate issue still at play here. See, a lot of people truly believe that one day this truck's going to roll off the assembly line with no emissions equipment. And I keep telling you guys, it ain't happening. I promise you, if they did do anything, they would make it to where the trucks can be more efficient with emissions equipment, not control. So yes, part of the reason why I did weight loss program is because of how I use my truck. I'll explain that at the end of the video, but I want to get through this part of it in case you don't care about my reasonings. I'll just save it to the end of the video, but let's keep reading the article because there's some other good stuff I want you guys to hear. Says here, DOJ is committed to sound enforcement principles, efficient use of government resources, and avoiding overcriminalization of federal environmental law. In partnership with the EPA, DOJ will still pursue civil enforcement for these violations when appropriate, DOJ concluded. The move to stop criminal prosecutions follows the presidential pardon of Troy Lake, who was sentenced to 1 year in prison for deleting emissions systems. Lake was officially pardoned November 7th. Senator Cynthia Lummis, who championed Lake's pardon, also introduced the Diesel Truck Liberation Act, which would prohibit the federal government from requiring manufacturers to install or maintain emissions control devices or onboard diagnostic systems, among other provisions. In August, the EPA announced a fix to diesel engine derates, ordering that all post-2027 engines be engineered to avoid sudden and severe power loss after running out of DEF. EPA also instituted a more relaxed schedule of derates when emission systems show a fault. CBS News reported it had seen an internal DOJ memo in which Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche ordered the department to stop pursuing criminal charges and drop all pending cases targeting the sale of illicit defeat devices that are used to tamper with air pollution control systems in diesel-powered vehicles. Reasoning for the order detailed in the memo, CBS reported, was a new legal theory that contends Clean Air Act violations could not be prosecuted as crimes but only as civil offenses. CBS said the order could potentially impact more than a dozen pending criminal cases across the country, targeting companies and individuals who allegedly sold aftermarket emissions defeat devices, as well as more than 20 ongoing investigations. Here's all of my exhaust after treatment crap. The only thing missing here is my DEF tank, and it's just a tank with a cross member. It's like a skid plate really that it sits on top of. That's the only thing that's missing. Now we're gonna go down and I'm gonna show you guys what all this stuff is. So right here, this is your EGR right here. And this is your cooler, then you have an EGR valve, and then you have just a bunch of soot that gets put right back into your engine to be burnt off, basically. It's the worst system on the truck based off what people feel. I think that, personally, whoever decided this was a good idea should be like punched in the face. I'm not telling anyone to go do that. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying they should be punched in the face for designing such a piece of trash crap for our trucks. Absolutely control. This is your way to try to say, hey, you guys who want these trucks, how bad do you want them? That's what this is. This EGR crap is how bad do you want your truck? Because some people hate this stuff. And actually, they actually have it on gas engines too. So this is the cooler. This is the valves. Exhaust gas recirculation, if I didn't say what EGR was. Up next is DLC, diesel oxidation catalyst. This sits right behind the turbocharger, and that creates heat basically for the exhaust system, okay? Look how much real estate I have back there. Love it. Up next is your DPF and your SCR right here. So DPF is diesel particulate filter. I would say my least favorite is this, simply because it's like, kind of like part 2 to this. How bad do you want your freaking diesel truck, guys? How bad do you want it? I'm going to make you fill your truck up with diesel fuel that's already expensive under the Biden administration. You guys remember how expensive diesel fuel was? How bad do you want your truck is what they said. So basically, when this thing gets filled with soot, unfortunately, the diesel that you purchase for your truck gets squirted into here. It gets heated up to like 1,000 to 1,200 degrees so it can burn off the soot and turn it into ash, okay? And then you have your SCR, which is selective catalyst reduction. That system uses the DEF, which is the cow PP that you put inside your truck. Yeah, again, you gotta squirt that into your truck. Cow PP, very corrosive stuff and disgusting too. That gets used. You have to buy that, by the way, too. That's not free. You can't just go and buy it for free. You know, you would think the government, hey, if you want to help your environment, you should just give that to us for free, right? Nope, don't work that way. So that somehow got incorporated onto these trucks. The EGR system is everyone's least favorite. I would say DPF is my least favorite, follow right behind SCR and DEF, simply because you guys understand that most of this stuff is covered under your warranty. Your DEF system is not covered under your warranty. It's not covered. So 5-year 50 is what you get with this crap. So if you have an EGR failure, technically that's not covered under the warranty if you're over 50,000 miles. Just keep that in mind. And if you somehow get bad DEF and it takes out the DEF system, you're paying out of pocket for that, okay? Just so we're clear. Now in the middle here, this is kind of like emissions, but kind of not. This is your CCV, which is crankcase ventilation. I took that off because over time that just fails. And most of you guys know that the downpipes, or excuse me, the up pipes fail on these trucks too. So I took those off as well. But that's something you can do if you decide you want to stay emission compliant. Why am I showing you all this? I'm only showing this to you guys because whoever decided to create this for our trucks did not have us in mind. It was all about control. I'm telling you, the kind of people who buy these trucks is who they were trying to control. Just saying. You can believe it, you cannot believe it, but I'm super happy that there's common sense now back in office because this stuff has never made sense to me. I'm sure there's better ways to make diesel engines compliant. The main reason why they have this crap on these trucks is because they wanted to not see black smoke come out of here. That's the main reason why we have this stuff on these diesel pickup trucks, because people did not like to see the diesel black smoke. Now, here's what I'll say. I like seeing the black smoke. You know why? Because if I do see it, I can always hold my breath. But guess what? As you're going down the highway and someone gives it the juice and you don't see that black smoke, guess what? Something's coming out of there. It ain't black smoke. And you're still sniffing it in. Now, it has been linked that potentially because of the SCR system on this truck with DEF, was coming out of this tailpipe could be killing the honeybees. So I'm doing my part because I want to stand with honeybees. I want to make sure that they have a voice and that they can be heard. And if this is in fact killing them, I'm going to make a stand for them. So that's why I did what I did in your face. that might get cut out of this video. I think I was in my feeling for a second because, like I told you guys, whoever created EGR and DPF, they literally were saying in their head, how bad do you want your diesel truck now? I'm telling you, that's what they were saying. Now, why did I decide to do weight loss program? I decided to do this simply because of how I use my truck. I tried out a gas pickup. You guys know I had a white Silverado. I did some towing tests with it. I didn't buy that truck just for YouTube. I really was trying to see, could I potentially live with a gas pickup? And the answer was no. I decided I really like diesel engines, so I decided, hey, I want a diesel. And because I live 30 minutes from the highway, and because my truck was going into regions every 150 to 200 miles, and because I move my church's trailer every Sunday, I go at low speeds for 30 minutes every single Sunday. My truck's idling because I have to hook up the trailer, then unhook it. You know, if you tow trailers, you have to idle, and it's not good to idle these diesel engines. So with that being said, you know what? I said, screw it. I want better fuel economy. I want a more healthier diesel. And I don't want this emission crap on my truck that's basically using my diesel that I pay for to clean a stupid DPF. I just don't want that. I mean, it makes me angry just thinking about it right now. So that's why I did what I did. I decided for myself, hey, I want to have a more healthier truck. And that's why I did what I did. Now, here's what I'll say in closing. If you're a stupid idiot out there who thinks that you want to roll coal, you're going to mess it up for everybody. I don't roll coal. Now, obviously, I have a pretty good dang tune on this truck, which means I don't have black smoke. But the reality is you're going to get a little bit here and there. But you can't think that now that it's not being enforced, you can go out here and just do stupid stuff, because then you mess it up for everybody. I think the main reason why we have this stuff on our trucks now is because some idiot decided to black out the whole block on the street, and someone says enough is enough, we got to do something about this. And this is what the result was. So yes, we have to do our part and not do stupid things. So I hope this video was helpful, and thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. And if you would like to get a nice tune on your truck, if you decide you want to do weight loss program, if it's, you know, once you check your laws and regulations, I'm not telling you to do anything, but if you do your research and you figure out that that's what you want to do, down below, DieselR Corp, I got everything on this truck from them, and it has worked flawlessly. So again, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I got some more videos coming on this truck, and yeah, see you guys soon.